Let's get your shit together. I am so excited for this video today. As a self-proclaimed organization queen, I love planning, scheduling, organizing, helping other people do it, doing it for myself. So if you're after a little reset or you're looking to plan your life a little bit more, schedule things in, have some help with organization, look no further. I got you. Grab a notebook, buckle in, and let's get your shit together. Now, little side note, while I am absolutely obsessed with organization and planning, and especially in the areas of life and passions and things like that, I am no guru, and I think you should absolutely take everything that I say, along with everyone else on the internet, with a lot of salt, okay? There is not a one-size-fits-all plan for everyone. Each person is unique and different, and that is also why this video may not go as you expect. I'm not about to lay out a schedule for you and pop some downloadable blueprints in my description because that is not what's happening today. There really is a lot more involved with this than just getting a schedule that suits you and trying to stick to it. So we will definitely touch bases on things like time management, actionable steps, and a little bit of scheduling. But there's a lot of foundational work that so often gets missed that we are going to focus on first. Because without this, you're basically just chasing your tail, and you're really not going to see the results in your life that you want to. So first of all, the biggest topic that we need to discuss is really truly understanding yourself. No blinders, no biases. You need to take a good, hard, raw look at yourself and who you are and really understand yourself a bit more. What are your goals and passions in life? There is literally no point to planning and trying to create a more structured or organized or functional even lifestyle or life in general if you have no idea what your direction is. Now, direction in of itself is a spectrum, right? You might be someone who is really career orientated and you might want to be studying a degree and, getting a job in a certain career path, and that's your direction in life. And that's amazing. Others might have more creative passions and that looks like a completely different lifestyle to someone chasing a more stereotypical career path. Other people's directions and goals might be just experiencing the world, experiencing their passions and things that drive them. No matter what your direction is and what your ultimate goal is, that is a personal thing that is specific to you. But that is the basis of how you can be making sure you're heading in the direction that you want to be. And by no means do you have to have it all figured out or any of it figured out. Let's be so for real. Hardly any of us have our shit figured out, and that's so fine. And if you don't even know yet what your passion or your big goal is that you want to achieve, and maybe you don't even know what direction you want to move yet, and that's so fine, because life is a whole journey and it just starts with you picking something. Pick something you want to learn, something you want to experience in life, and start with that. Something else that can help with your direction is figuring out who you want to be as a person. How do you want to interact with the world? How do you want to appear? How do you want to customize your avatar? What kind of traits and qualities do you really strive to want to have in this life? Just think about all the different avenues as a person that you want to be, and that can also give you a lot of direction and passion and purpose. Working on leveling yourself up in the way that, what you feel like your final form is or what one of your next forms will be is honestly such an underrated thing, because at the end of the day, it's just you in this life. It all comes back to you, your experiences, and who you are as a person. So working on the person that you want to be is so important. Another huge area of understanding yourself is when it comes to your strengths and weaknesses. How are the ways in which you learn best as an individual? Each person is very different in the systems that they can place in their life to help them succeed to the best of their abilities. There are a variety of different ways people learn and take in information, and finding out which one you are is super duper important for seeing success in your own life. And this part can get a little uncomfy because it gets a little bit raw, but looking at your strengths and weaknesses and breaking down, understanding them, understanding the the strengths and how they propel you in the direction you want to go, and the weaknesses in your life and in yourself that are holding you back. This is not the opportunity to use things as excuses or cop outs, because there's always a way to work around them or work with them. But that takes really being real with yourself, understanding the areas that you can work on or that you need to work with in order to actually be able to move forward in your life into the direction that you want to go. This often tends to be the point where people will fall off the wagon solely because excuses are a great way to stay in your comfort zone. And I'm not saying people do it on purpose. A lot of the time it can be sort of that subconscious thing of like keeping you where you are because where you are is comfortable, which is why it is at the top of the list of things to work through before you can start getting to where you want to be. All right, so it's time for a little chat about consistency and discipline. I'm not about to start talking like every other self-help guru out there. I'm quite anti a lot of that, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think you should follow someone else's blueprint for your individual life. Not only because each person is different, but also because there is often a lot left out. And there is also a lot of obsessive, crazy talk about consistency and discipline. And I think it's very off putting, to be honest. But when you really just break down what consistency and discipline means for your life, it's so much more simple than everyone makes it out to be. At the end of the day, it's literally just choosing to take yourself seriously, to take your goals and your passions seriously, to take whatever it is that you're focusing on, whether that's your health or your mental health or a hobby that you want to pursue or something that brings you joy and you really want to find time and make time for that. It is definitely not about perfection. So for my fellow recovering perfectionists, it is not about perfection. It is about little steps every day that creates a consistency and stability in your life. Life is not that serious. We need to be having more fun. There's a reason I love whimsy and I love talking about whimsy, okay? Everyone needs more whimsy in their life. Everyone needs more fun in their life. We've got to stop taking life so damn seriously all the time, right? We only get one and it's so short. We should be running towards the things that light up our life and bring so much vibrance and joy to our souls above everything else, you know? Discipline is way more important than motivation, right? Because motivation requires, at least to some extent, an external source to push you, right? It's not coming from within yourself, because motivation is kind of like an emotion and it comes and it goes. That's why discipline is the important one to be going after. It's showing up again and again and again. It's showing up when you don't want to, when there's no motivation, when things aren't going to plan, you know, it's just consistently showing up for yourself. Not for anyone else, not for any external factors, for yourself and the thing that you really want. It's so important at this point to know the person that you want to be and the things that you're trying to achieve, because that's what's got to stay at the top of your mind. And you've got to keep reminding yourself that, okay, if I really want this thing, this is what I have to do to get there. It's these little steps every day or every other day, whatever it is, you know, that's going to help achieve the thing that you want to achieve, essentially. Consistency creates trackable progress. That is the main point of consistency, right? Because it helps create habits when we do something again and again and again. It helps curve your mindset as well. And it also, again, creates trackable progress. So you can see visual progress of the things that you're working towards or working on. You can see how many times you're showing up for yourself. You can see how much closer you're getting to the thing that you're wanting to do or achieve. And I do hate to say it, but consistency really overrules everything. You will see the changes. Things take time, but time passes anyway. When you are consistent with something, you will start to see the physical changes or the physical progression. You will start to see your business getting built up. You will start to see your social media page filling up with posts because you're being consistent with posting. You will see your art books get filled with artworks because you're consistently creating art. No matter what it is, if you are consistent with it, you will be able to track that progress and be able to see what you're achieving. Now, before we actually get to the time management section of this planning and organizing your life video, there is a very important factor I think we do need to touch base on first. And that is that you make time for what's important to you. I don't want to hear you're too busy, you don't have enough time. No. You make time for what's important to you. And when you are trying to become who you want to be, or you're trying to, chase or explore new passions and experiences and things like that, often that means you cannot stay as the person you are or the lifestyle that you have. You have to change some things because the person you are and the person you want to be is not usually ever in the same place. And yes, that does mean sacrifices more often than not. There's always time when you make the time. You have to choose what you want to prioritize. And sometimes that means putting things in a future basket or a not now basket and really choosing what you actually want to focus on right now. And that doesn't mean forever. That just means right now, this is where your focus is going to be. And then in a few months' time, you can shift that, focus on something else. Again, life's not that serious, okay? You've got to have fun, but there is limitations to how many hours we have in a day, and financial limitations, things like that are very real, right? Which does entail making certain sacrifices or choosing things to leave aside for now, or choosing things to leave behind. If focusing on your health is a huge passion for you or something that you really want to improve on, and that means starting a sport or starting training, you find the time, you make the time for that. There is always time for things that are important to you. And if that means you do something else less, something that's less important, then you make those choices. You work around things. You do what you got to do to make sure that you are working on the things you want to be working on, and that in a few months' time, you're not just as dissatisfied as you are right now because you keep going in a circle. So make sure you really figure out all of the things that you want to be working on and put them in baskets, baskets of importance. What you want to focus on now, what you want to focus on later, in a year. Okay, we made it. We made it to the time management organization section of this video, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, now that we've done all the foundational work and you are developing, imagining, creating up these versions of who you want to be, the versions of the things you want to achieve or explore, or experience, or create. Now we have these pillars of which we can now organize around for your life. And coming back to the original points of understanding yourself and the ways in which you learn, the kind of systems that you know can work well for you, or maybe you don't know and you're going to explore a few different ones. But keep these things in mind as I'm discussing different options for what could and what might work for you. Okay, time blocking is a great method, especially for a lot of us that are very busy people. Time blocking can really help create that consistency and being able to achieve all the different things that you want to achieve within a day or a week or a month. Time blocking is quite a simple thing as well, and it can also be great for your brain and, not frazzling yourself. So if you're a uni student or a college student or whatever, and you have specific days that you're studying and specific hours that you're away, you put all of these things in. If you're working, you put in your hours that you're working, and then you look at all of the free gaps of time and you fill those in with breakdowns of the consistent efforts that you're going to be putting into different areas. So hobbies, health-related things, passions, events, habits, whatever it is that you want to be working on, you spread it all out on some paper, break down what is a daily task, a weekly task, a fortnightly or monthly task. Not everything needs to be crammed into every single day. Sometimes with time blocking, it's really good to just do something once a week and give it a little bit more time, right? So every Monday you might do a certain task that then you don't need to do for the rest of the week because you've already done it there. That could be something like, meal prepping for the week, planning organizational block. There are so many options with time blocking. You can get as creative as you like with it. It also gives you a very realistic look at how much time you have in a day and what you can achieve and what you are prioritizing. I definitely love to time block, but again, I'm not super rigid on it. I often use it as a general guide only because there is a lot of flexibility that happens within my schedule of, shoots popping up or work schedules changing, things like that. I have to keep a certain level of flexibility to my schedule. So my time block things might shift from day to day. There's definitely that balance between making sure that you're not sacrificing the things that are important for you, but also being flexible enough to work with life as it comes. So making sure that it doesn't become an excuse for not working on the things that you're supposed to or that you want to, and make sure to be realistic with what you can achieve in a day, in a week, in a month. Again, recovering overachiever perfectionist here. I understand. I really understand because it's something I still am struggling to do. I love to give myself more than I can handle, and I love setting big aspirational things that I'm going to achieve, full well knowing that I don't have that capacity in my day-to-day life. I've definitely tried to curve that a lot more this year and have seen an incredible difference in the goals and passions and things that I'm chasing and trying to experience and enjoy, and noticing a huge difference. And while it is great to, think big scale, I always encourage everyone to dream big, but to just remember there's only so much you can achieve in a day. And if you do overestimate what you can achieve in a day, then that often leads to disappointment, regrets, falling back into old patterns, none of the things which we want, right? So just remember to do that while you are creating some sort of plan or schedule for your life. Now, schedules, planners, and calendars is kind of all in one, but it is such an important topic. I think no matter the kind of person you are, even if you're not at your core a planner, having a calendar with things that are happening in it is so important, right? It's so important because you're showing up for yourself and for people you're making plans with or things you want to do and go see, and then making sure that you show up for those, that you're not missing out on things that, you promised either yourself or someone else that you would go to. Just at a base level, calendars are so valuable and they're a really good tool for consistency and showing good character. Planners are a great way to make sure that each week or month is organized in a way that is achievable, realistic, and trackable. You can look back on each month, you can look back on each week, see what worked, what didn't work, adapt, change. It's okay if things don't work out. You always have the next day, the next week, the next month to try new things and explore different avenues or ways to work on things. And sometimes life throws you a curveball. It's life. We can't control some of the things that happen to us, around us, circumstances that change, but you can control how you choose to deal with them, how you choose to react, respond, and how you choose to progress after that. So I did post a little reset for the new year video, and in it I did put my stack of organizational tools. A lot of them are physical. I do use Notion religiously. I love Notion. I have always loved physical books and notebooks, so you can bet I do have those as well. This is my yearly planner, and it has week layouts, month layouts, and little tabs on each one so you can skip to the months that you want to. It's really great for goal setting and organization, and you can just plan it all out, and then you can also look back on it and see what you achieved, what didn't work out, what's next. They're a great tool to be able to track and guide you on your journey. Notebooks have always been in and will always be in. I love me a notebook. Whether you're journaling or just need something to brain dump all your thoughts and ideas into, or you're using something more for planning and organization for whatever it is that you're trying to work on in life. For me, this is my notebook where I brain dump all of my content ideas into. And as you can see, it's literally nearly full. Now, I know scheduling and planning and organization can seem a little daunting straight off the bat. So it's important to find the things that you love. If you love colors and color coding things, then use highlighters and stickers and sticky tabs and decorate your planner so that it brings you joy. And if you're someone who likes simplistic things, then find yourself a journal, like a bullet journal or something that is going to suit your brain and make your brain happy. Because it's 2026 and excuses are out the window. We are working on ourselves, we're working on who we want to be, and we are chasing fun, joy, passion, and experience. And whether that path leads you in a different direction to many other people, or if it's a path that many other people have taken, no matter where you're going, it's important. If it's important to you, then that's all that matters. If it's going to make you happy, that's all that matters. Now, there's a whole other conversation to be had around this, which I will make a video on, especially regarding Alyssa Liu and her little mindset chat that has gone mega viral online. I crashed out over it. I absolutely crashed out over it. As a recovering high achiever perfectionist who cannot quit something once she started it without feeling like it is failure or wanting to go in a different direction, chasing that classic, I guess, societal standard of like a job and a career path and things like that, which works for some people, not so much for others. There was a lot that I had to break down and work through after listening to her talk about life and that mindset in general. And it was really eye-opening for me. And I think that is worth a whole other conversation for a whole other video. So I will 100% break that down in another video for you guys. I can tell you all about my crash out and why that mindset is so invaluable, especially in this day and age and this world that we live in. But in the meantime, I hope this video was helpful for you. It is something that is very close to my heart. I absolutely adore helping people with organization and planning and lifestyle chats. If you enjoyed being here with me, I would appreciate it if you would give this a like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.